everybody, and welcome into the broadcast. It's Sunday evening. It's time for Region Weather Live, and we've had obviously a really busy week weather-wise around here, and still some activity outside now with some lake effect snow that's been kind of flirting with northwest Indiana at times. It's kind of come and gone, and we've seen a light accumulation from that. Overall, the big story from here on out is the cold air. The kids have been hanging out here with me before bed. They don't have school tomorrow, so that means late bedtime. You guys want to say hi? Come on in. There's,
Hi.
You can't see. You got to go a little. That's Emerson. Hi.
Hi.
All right. Emerson's our oldest, and River. Camera's up here.
Hello.
Hi. Thanks for saying hi, guys. All right. Can we keep it down a little bit while we play?
Sure.
Awesome. Very good. Then it's PJ time. All right. Did you hear that, everybody? It's your PJ time too. Okay. Soon, but we're not quite there yet. Let me get a little bit further over there. All right. Here we go. So where are we going to start here? Let's start with, I want to say hi to the people that are just so fast at hitting that trigger in terms of joining. Mary is with us. She says, hi. Hi, Mary. Hope you're doing well. Derek's with us. Says, hopefully this will be it after the cold weather. Yeah, Derek, this is probably going to be our coldest stretch of weather coming up for the rest of the season. I don't see another shot like this. This is some really cold air that's coming in for this time of year, not just for us, but for the entire Midwest. I mean, we're talking 20 to 40 degrees below average. That's really hard to do. So our temperatures are warming up. Our average high is up near 40 degrees now. So, I mean, that tells you that things are changing, right? And we're going to start to gain 2 to 3 degrees per week on our average. So that's going to make it really hard to get these really cold temperatures that we're going to be dealing with next couple of days. Nicole's with us. Nicole, thanks for joining us. Brandy, good evening to you. Jeff's with us as well. Ethan's on board. Hi, Ethan. Beverly's with us. Ray's with us. We've got some new faces we haven't had in a while. Thanks for taking time out of your Sunday to join us. Gail's with us as well. Maxwell, hello. Lisa says cute kids most of the time, Lisa. Jill, hello. Jeff's with us as well. Thanks for joining us, Jeff. Cindy, hello. Maxwell says I sound muffled. I'm not sure why, Maxwell. Everything looks okay. I think all the cords are hooked up. Is anyone else? Can everyone else hear me okay, or something kind of weird with the sound? If it is, I'm going to unplug this because that's really annoying when the sound's off. So let me know that. Let me get through our sponsors real quick. If you need a glass of water or anything like that, go grab it. I got to get through our sponsors. They keep the show for free. They're just awesome. They're all local. We'll start at the top. FBIbuildings.com is the place to go if you want a new pole barn constructed. They do commercial and residential. They've done over 20,000 in the Midwest. They make amazing structures. FBIbuildings.com. Meals on Wheels wants to thank you. Their event is sold out. Their Dine with the Chefs event we were talking about. It was sold out, which is awesome. That was the whole goal. That's their biggest fundraiser of the year. So they just want to direct your attention towards what they offer. I mean, they offer meals for low-income families or people in need, elderly. You've heard of them, but I mean, they really are a great organization here in Northwest Indiana. So if you want more information on that, it's MOWNWY, so Meals on Wheels, northwestindiana.org. They have meals starting at $5.99, and it's Heart Healthy Month, so they've got great healthy options as well. So if you know someone that's in need, maybe you have a neighbor, someone through church or someone through work that could use some meals, they deliver one per day, and they do just amazing work across the region. So please reach out to them if you need anything. PSA, that's our public service adjusters. Guys, what public service adjusting is, if you have an insurance claim, normally you would go to your insurance company, right? And they would kind of lowball you with money. They take forever trying to get things fixed. Instead of going to your insurance company, you go to PSA. It's publicserviceadjusting.com. They're all local licensed insured adjusters right here in Northwest Indiana. Great moms and dads. They're fantastic to work with. And what they do, they'll come out, take pictures, document everything, and they'll submit it to your insurance company, and they do all the work for you. You don't have to even talk to your insurance company, all right? They do everything for you, and they get you more money than you would get. They are stubborn, and they don't take no for an answer, and they get you exactly what you need. 5-star reviews across the board. Why would you not use them? publicserviceadjusting.com. Tigerplumbing.net. That's our plumbers here in Northwest Indiana. They come out for free, which is crazy this day and age. If you have anything that's dripping where it shouldn't, and I'm talking about pipes, you don't need to go to the doctor. But anyway, tigerplumbing.net, the place to go. You can do everything on your phone, mobile, take pictures, video, send it to them. It's just amazing. Minogue.life, that is our expert. Michael Minogue is our expert in the world of life insurance, Medicare, Medicaid. He reminds us that it's a brand new enrollment period, right? We have open enrollment period. And a lot of people are getting phone calls and inappropriate marketing that is basically helping you or making you sign up for a new plan that you're not going to be able to change till January of next year. Never want to give your Social Security out or Medicare number over the phone. They can steal your identity, all that good stuff. So, guys, if you have a plan that you don't know what your benefits are, he does no cost consultations where you can sit down with him in his office. He's an awesome guy. He knows his stuff, and he'd be happy to go through and review your plan. And again, there's no two plans that are the same. Everything's catered for that person. Maybe you're paying too much. Maybe you don't have enough life insurance. Maybe you have too much life insurance. He'll figure all that out for you. Again, Minogue.life is the website to go to. Kate Cusack, she joined us for Ruoff Mortgage. She joined us live this week during the winter storm, right, in her backyard, which is just awesome to have her showing the snow falling and measuring it. It was just great. She's just fun. A lot of you guys found that out this week. But, you know, we're in the cold season now. No one's looking for a house right now, right? I mean, you might be looking, but you're not going to look because it's just cold. Things are going to change quickly in the spring, and they're going to change next month. So she wants to help you get everything in line so that when your dream house or maybe your first home that you're looking for hits the market, you're ready to go, you're pre-approved, you've got your paperwork, and you can submit it maybe even day of. And she wants to help you get there. So reach out to her. She'd be happy to work with you. Again, it's Kate Cusack, Home Loan Girl on Facebook, if you need more information on that. Finally, last but not least, Grigors Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Valparaiso. They've got brand new Jeeps ready to go, four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, and they're amazing. Wagoneer looks great this year. It fits families like ours, and it's got all-wheel drive, which is all that matters. Those two things. That's all you need in the winter, right? Heading in the spring. Grigors Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Valparaiso. All right, so, okay, everyone's hearing me okay. Great, thank you for that. Polydactyl, thanks for joining us on our YouTube channel. I appreciate that. Jessica, you as well. All right, guys, let's dive into the forecast. Thanks for letting me get through those sponsors. We've got a big sponsor list, and I'm very happy with our Northwest Indiana sponsors. They're all local. We keep it local. If you have a business and you're interested in working with us, we'd certainly be happy to do that. But we're thankful for who we have. They've been with us for a long time. A lot of these folks have been with us for over 2 years, which is just awesome. Tells you that relationship is great with them especially. All right, so here's what we've got weather-wise. This big old storm system across the eastern half of the country, right? And we talked about this last week, you know, what this winter storm was going to be like, and that it wasn't going to be a huge deal for us here locally, okay? Sometimes you fall into the part of winter storms where there's just not much happening. There's a lot of action to the north, to the west, to the east, to the south, and you get kind of a boring part of the storm system. Not to say we had that, but we certainly didn't have the most action out of the storm system. What they did have and where they had it was down towards the Tennessee Valley, Kentucky. If you're getting caught up and you weren't following the weather over the weekend, there was just a steady, heavy rain that developed and kind of parked there for a while until the system got some movement. You could see it here initially, how that rain just kept going with copious amounts of Gulf of Mexico moisture. They had anywhere from 4 to 8 inches of rain across portions of Kentucky, over to West Virginia, Tennessee as well. And there was a lot of emergency flash flood warnings where, I mean, they had water rescue, stuff like that. It was a serious deal, and those rivers and creeks are still very swollen for them. For us here locally, we had some snow initially Friday night, right? Then things kind of quieted down. We had a little bit of rain and drizzle. We had a little bit of snowflake action on Saturday, and then things kind of changed last night into today, where we had a couple little bouts of lake effect snow. And now we're dealing with colder air. This system's going up. It's a huge area of low pressure. It's really deep, and it's going up into Canada right now. And we've got that wind flow around it, which is really cranking the wind out east. There's high wind warnings. I have a meteorologist friend I used to work with who works in Philadelphia now. She said that they've got high wind warnings today, tonight, and all the way through tomorrow with 50+ mile-per-hour winds in Philly. I mean, this thing is, and it's knocking down trees and power lines. This is a big low pressure out towards the East Coast. In terms of severe weather, these are all the severe weather reports. All the blue are wind damage reports. There was some hail, that's the green dots, and there really weren't that many tornado reports from this. They did have a couple, one in Alabama that produced quite a bit of damage, another one in Georgia, another one down in Mississippi. But overall, the tornadoes were low with this, and there was a ton of wind with this. So they had a lot of wind damage reports down towards the south. For us, we get the colder air, so I want to show you this. This is all snow on radar, but watch how it evolves. The lakes are basically steaming still as this cold air comes across the lakes. And so what we're seeing are some pretty impressive lake effect snow bands. We had a decent one that moved through the region earlier today that went out towards South Bend. You can see how we've been in and out of the lake effect snow. There's still some flurry activity in Lake and Porter County right now. That's going to start to wind down. You can see kind of this last breath of some snow showers working through. But you can just see the flow of that cold air coming across the lakes. And then the cool thing is Lake Erie is pretty much frozen over, all right? And you typically need open water out on the lake to have good evaporation, right? And to produce that lake effect snow. And so when Lake Erie freezes over, because it's the shallowest lake, it often kind of shuts off the lake effect snow coming off of Lake Erie. But it's not just Lake Erie and it's not just Lake Michigan that brings us lake effect snow sometimes. We get help from the other lakes depending on the flow. So they're getting lake effect snow in Northeast Ohio, not from Lake Erie, but from the moisture off Lake Michigan, from the moisture off Lake Superior, and from the moisture off Lake Huron. You can see this band that's developed from Superior to Michigan here, and this moisture comes all the way across. Just kind of a neat thing that the lakes do. A lot of times out towards Buffalo with the northwest fetch, they'll get the wind off Lake Huron, and then it'll come across Lake Ontario, and they'll get some heavy snow bands. But that's how you get the really intense bands of snow. For us here locally, it's when we get the wind across the entire length or fetch of the lake that comes all the way down, and you get all that moisture just piles up. And so anyway, that just shows us we've got colder air coming in, and that's really where we're going here with the forecast. Is it is going to be much colder over the course of the week. In fact, this is going to be one of our coldest weeks of the year, and we're sitting during a time where it's kind of hard to do that. In fact, our average last day with high temperatures in the teens, all right? So our last day of the year climatologically with a high of 19 degrees or 18 or 17, somewhere in there, is right now, all right? This is typically our last time of the year that we have highs in the teens, and we're talking highs tomorrow that probably aren't going to get out of the single digits. So this is below average, all right? This is really cold stuff for this time of year. Does it happen? Yes. But is it common? It's not. It's really not. January, yes. Early February, yes. But we're now getting in the mid-February, and that sun angle is getting much stronger this time of year. So here we go. Look at the wind flow. All these black lines are isobars. Those are lines of equal pressure. When there's a lot of them together, it is windy. You've got a big pressure difference in a very small space. So that's kicking off the lake effect. So we're done. We're going to be done with it tonight. Tomorrow, for much of the day, I think we'll be lake effect free. If you get out towards South Bend, there'll still be some snow flying around. You can see how the lake effect goes, it kind of trails its way with that wind change up into Michigan. And this is throughout the day tomorrow. But you notice there's another storm system out towards our west. And this is going to be another big winter storm. It's going to go south of us, though, okay? So areas like Tennessee, Missouri are going to get some good snow from this. Watch how this evolves. There's already snow on radar down towards our south tomorrow afternoon. By tomorrow night, this system's really getting going. And as high pressure builds in from the north, there's a cold Canadian high coming down. As that starts to interact with this low pressure down to the south, it's going to change our wind flow from more northwest to more northerly. So as a result, what we're going to be dealing with is a lake effect band that's over in Michigan early Tuesday morning that may shift back into the region. So I've got some snow showers in the forecast on Tuesday. This isn't going to be a huge deal, but watch how this evolves. See how the snow kind of trails back into LaPorte and Porter counties during the day Tuesday? That's all product of that high pressure in the wind shift to the north. Meanwhile, down to the south, I mean, if you have travel plans to Kansas or Missouri, maybe on business, or maybe you're not going there at all. Most of us aren't. But it's going to get real snowy for them and real windy as well. And then the system continues to head out towards the east. And look at this lake effect band coming into Lake County by the time we get into Tuesday evening, Tuesday night. Again, all with that wind shift going from northwest to north and then the northeast as this low pressure pulls in that cold air. So I do think we'll get some snow showers. I don't think it's going to be a blockbuster snow. We may get an inch or two out of it. But still, it might turn a little snowy around here Tuesday evening with that lake effect as this system gets going. So in terms of snowfall forecast, this is kind of what we're thinking. This is the model I agree with the most. And notice there's not a lot of snow in our forecast, but there's some. And we'll have to keep an eye on that. Again, an inch or two possible with that lake effect. Look at the snow down towards Missouri, though. These are areas that don't always handle it too well, especially when they're on the order of 10 to 15 inches of snow. I mean, this thing is really going to wring out some snow. And the difference down there is they're closer to the Gulf of Mexico. So that Gulf of Mexico moisture, once it gets into a system, it can really snow down there when it snows, versus here it has to travel a bit further. There's not much of a difference, but that's going to be one of the difference makers here. Is there's going to be a copious amount of moisture in the air as they get down towards the south. So a little bit of snow here with that. So where do we go from here? Let's go long range. I'm going to go next 10 to 15 days, and we'll look at it here. And in terms of the forecast, you notice this is the Euro. It too brings some of those snow showers back in here Tuesday into Wednesday as that system heads by to the south. Not a huge deal, but still some snowflakes flying around. The cold air keeps coming in behind that low pressure, so that keeps the cold air through Thursday and Friday. Still a few lake effect snow showers around on Thursday, mainly out towards the east. And then that system kind of winds down as high pressure comes in and shuts off lake effect effectively. This is Friday. Friday looks nice. And then next weekend, another little clipper comes by, maybe Friday into Saturday with a few snow showers with that. And then eventually that one will head out towards the east as well. We'll go a little bit longer range here. This is February 25th, another clipper system, nothing huge though. A few other little systems zipping through the 27th, 28th. And then this is what I like to see, albeit temporary. Most of the modeling has been agreeing that there's going to be some kind of warm up as we go into March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, somewhere in there, okay? We're due, okay? So I would not be surprised if that were to happen. But out ahead of that, there would be some kind of storm system that develops, probably with some rain around. We would have the southwest flow out ahead of that, and then the storm system would come in. So how warm are we talking? Well, the Euro thinks we're going to get really cold next couple of days, which I agree. Overnight lows are going to be below zero Monday night, Tuesday night. I mean, this is cold for this time of year. It's cold in January, but this is really cold for mid to late February. I guess we're mid-ish February right now. So cold week. I mean, this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Weekend still cold, but look at this nice little warm-up. Perhaps getting into the 40s, 50s, we'll see. But perhaps getting into the 40s next week by this time. And then here's your little bump into March. The Euro's not too impressed with it, but I'll show you the GFS. Again, these are just forecasted numbers. GFS brings us, into slightly warmer this weekend. But look at what the GFS is doing with that warm-up. I mean, it's got 50s and even 60s in the forecast to start the month of March. That would be quite the turnaround. And I said last broadcast that once March 1st hits, which is meteorological spring, there's just something about it where you go outside, and if the sun is out, it just feels different. It just feels warmer. You can feel different energy coming from the sun in March. And there's no difference between February 28th and March 1st, but there is. And I don't know if it's psychological or what, but every year on March 1st, I'm telling you, if it's sunny out, I'm like, oh man, that sun feels good. And suddenly 20s and 30s don't feel so bad as long as there's sunshine. So anyway, this is a nice trend to see. So I want you to think about this. This is the last thing I have. So if you guys have any questions, throw them in the chat right now. I'd be happy to chat with you about whatever you want to know. But in terms of this, yeah, it's going to be pretty brutal this week with the cold, right? Wind chill value is going to be well below zero. But just know on Monday, that's going to be our low point, okay? That's probably the coldest we're going to be for the rest of the winter season. And then we start to moderate as we go from there. And every day is going to get a little bit better, all right? Isn't that like a good metaphor for life as well? Like it's every day is going to get a little bit better and a little bit closer to next weekend as well. So there's that. So just know that as you're feeling the cold and it's not feeling really great this week, just know that we're going to get better. And hopefully this verifies where we get 50s and 60s. I think we could all use a nice warm up from here. All right, that's all I've got. If you guys have questions, go ahead, throw them in chat. Again, thank you so much for taking time out of your evening. I know you guys have a lot going on. Thanks for joining me for all this stuff. In terms of our forecast, you guys know it's on the radio side of things. If you're in the office and they're playing, a radio station, have them switch over. X-Rock 103.9, Indiana 105.5, Z107.1, and also the Lakeshore FM, my old employer where I got my start in meteorology. We've got our forecasts all day long on there. We've got some talkback sessions as well. So you can always catch region weather forecasts on there. Also, regionweather.com. If you are not signed up for daily email alerts, just go to regionweather.com. On the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see sign up for email. I promise I don't overload it. It's not from a bot. Every single morning I sit down and I type out whatever the weather's doing or whatever you need to know. I'll make a graphic and it goes right to your inbox. And it's not from the iPhone weather forecast or any automated app that doesn't talk to you. It's just a bunch of computers throwing out numbers. So a lot of people enjoy that. If you don't want that, that's fine. But I certainly don't overwhelm your inbox because I don't have time, frankly, to send emails all day. So there's that. All right. So let's dive into your questions here. Let's see. JP says, didn't realize today's snow was lake effect. It was really windy. Yeah, we've got that wind around, JP. This system is a wind maker. And again, it goes all the way to the East Coast. There are widespread 40 and 50 mile per hour gusts out east. For us, 20 to 35 ought to do it. And that wind will start to ease as we get into the daytime tomorrow. Yeah, Tom's saying the wind is howling outside. Yep. Wendy avoided outside at all costs due to the wind. That's funny. It'll be a little bit better tomorrow. The temperature drops tomorrow. That's the thing. So that's that. Hi, Jennifer. I appreciate that. Yeah, thanks for joining us. So Joni, in terms of the snow starting, it looks to start a little bit later in the afternoon once that wind shifts. It'll be something that we can track on radar. So we'll see some lake effect ongoing, probably Berrien County in Michigan, and then that will shift into LaPorte County, and then we'll kind of see it shift into Porter, and then eventually Lake County Tuesday night and Wednesday as it looks right now. Again, this is not going to be a huge deal, but it's going to be something we have to keep an eye on. Yeah, Jennifer, so in terms of LaPorte, yeah, I've got some lake effect snow for you. There's some lake effect snow out there this evening. This will all kind of wind down by daybreak tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think most of the lake effect's east. We may have a few snow showers in LaPorte tomorrow. You're kind of on the western edge of where that lake snow will be. Again, just snow shower activity with it, not a huge deal. And then we'll watch it kind of go up into Michigan with the wind change tomorrow night. And then Tuesday, we'll watch it during the day kind of come back. And it should make it back into our region Tuesday evening, Tuesday afternoon out towards the east, and Tuesday evening, Porter, LaPorte counties, and then getting into Lake counties. We're going into Tuesday night as it looks right now. Ethan asks, any severe weather coming up? Ethan, I don't see any. I don't see any big storm systems. There will be a severe weather risk with this winter storm down south, not quite nearly what this last severe weather threat was. There were a lot better dynamics with it, but this system you see coming out of the Rockies and the western U.S., that could trigger some severe storms down towards the Gulf Coast, but nothing for us. Yeah, nothing here. Mean Streak saying T-shirt weather is forthcoming. I agree, Mean Streak, and I can't wait. I've got a whole line of T-shirts and been working out hard all winter. Just can't wait to show off these guns. I'm totally joking. That's not the case, but a lot of you have been. I know a lot of you have been really taking control of your health, and you're really waiting to show those short sleeves off. I don't know, probably not. Amber asks, how cold would the wind chill be on Tuesday? We're looking at -10 to minus. Let's look at it. I'm kind of guesstimating at this point, but I'm guessing -10 to -15. Surface temps, let's go. Apparent temperature, blah, 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 blah. Here we go. So here's tomorrow. Yeah, -10 to -15 tomorrow. You asked about Tuesday. Tuesday, we could get in the -20 degree range when the wind blows. All right. That's Tuesday morning waking up. Much of the day is going to be -5 to -15. But I mean, this is some cold stuff, and this is Wednesday. It doesn't get much better. Thursday, we get another chunk of cold air behind that system. So much of the week is going to feel like -5 to -15. Okay. Right. I know it's not great. There's that. Oh, Jeff, I didn't know that. Yeah, I don't follow Dan, but I'm aware of all these. There's a lot of different weather pages with folks, and I did not know that he's not doing okay. So he's got RSV. So yeah, we'll say a prayer for him. We'll put him in our prayer list tonight. Jeff, thanks for bringing that up. I appreciate that. Derek says, hey Matt, our spring severe weather is around the corner. Let's be prepared. Absolutely, Derek. You know, and here's the thing, and this often happens this time of year. We could flip the switch like that. I don't see it in the long range, but we can flip the switch like that where we go from, you know, hey, like let's say 2 weeks from now, we're like, I can't believe there was snow and I can't believe it was -20 just 2 weeks ago. You know, we could be dealing with severe weather. You know, March can bring anything. April especially. I mean, that's when we start to really dance with warmer air. But March can bring anything. And again, I brought it up last broadcast or last weekend. It was back in, again, I think it was 2012. In March, we had a good 6 or 7 days in a row of 70s and 80s. And it was just incredible. The leaves were coming out in trees in mid-March. That St. Patrick's Day was just so warm. I remember we lived in Chicago at the time, and I was working in Northwest Indiana at Lakeshore Public Television. And I just remember that stretch of weather. And then the very next year, it was like in the 20s and snowy. Because I remember making a graphic for TV, Lakeshore News Tonight, that showed, you know, hey, last year we were 82 or whatever, and this year it's 26. Like, what a difference. So again, March can bring anything. Normally it's on the colder side of things, but we can get these nice warm-ups where it's like we flip a switch like that, and we're talking tornado threat around here. So certainly just crazy how it goes. Dale asks, hey, Matt, I know it's early, but do you think we'll have an active severe weather season? Yeah, Dale, you know, it is early, and it's tough to tell. I mean, I could give you my thinking in terms of all of it. It doesn't mean it's right, and it doesn't do any good to have any of it soak in your head. But in terms of, typically we have a lot of severe weather with El Niños because we have a jet stream that comes through the south. We have a very active jet east of the Mississippi where we're getting warm air, cold air. In La Niñas, we could still have severe weather. Don't get me wrong, and it's not all El Nino or La Nina, but La Ninas we tend to not get as active of weather here across the eastern half of the country in terms of severe weather. We don't have that clash as much. So we'll see where we go. Again, spring can bring anything, but severe weather seasons kind of change. Where we've had severe weather in November before, we've had it in February before. Things have kind of changed over the last 10 years or so, at least from my perspective, meteorologically. But we'll see. We'll see where we go. Diane, I appreciate your comment. Thank you for taking time to do that. I'm glad. Again, I hope these help you. I really do, guys. I don't do these for me. I do them so that, again, your week is helped out and you know what's coming at you this week, okay? The app can tell you one thing, all right, but you're just looking at numbers that are changing with the computer, okay? So I just want you to know what's coming this week. Cold air, right, and that's no chance is really the two things that we're focused on. So, Diane, thanks for taking time to say that. Rich says, oh, good call, Rich, with the wind. Yeah, just an FYI, everyone be careful on the north-south country roads. The wind's causing some blowing and drifting snow and black ice. Great call on that, Rich. Yeah, you're right. Some of those outlying locations, that snow's got a little fluff factor to it. So, yeah, if they're not treated, it's going to be on the cold side. JP asks, is there an average last day for lake effect? Not for Lake Michigan, there's not. Lake Erie, it typically shuts off January into February as it freezes over. But, no, Lake Michigan's open season. Again, the heavier lake effect snow is usually confined to November and December around here. And the reason why is because you get those more robust, heavy lake effect bands when there's a bigger difference in surface temperature or water temperature and the air temperature, right? So as Lake Michigan cools, that makes it have to get even colder up above to keep that same difference. And this time of year, especially into March, we're not getting the real cold air, and then Lake Michigan's still cold, so you don't get that much of a difference. So typically this time of year into March, we'll start to shut it off in March unless we get a really cold air mass. But this air mass is coming across right now, and much of this week is producing a big difference, right? Because this is some really cold air for this time of year. So that's why we're seeing some of the lake effect this week. Yeah, Mary, yesterday wasn't as bad as today. There's that. Yeah, Maxwell, for sure. And it's with that warm-up, for sure. Yeah, GFS has that warm-up, has us getting up into the 60s. So that would do it. Jeff, you're welcome, for sure. Vicky was in Tennessee for the weekend, got her first thunderstorm. Yeah, a ton of flooding rain down there, Vicky. It was insane. So Sage yourself, thanks for joining us. Appreciate that. Yeah, Ethan says we'll have QLCS season to look forward to. Yeah, we will. Those big lines of storms that we get, for sure. Teresa, in terms of daily emails, if you go to regionweather.com, that's our webpage, on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see kind of a bar on the side there, and you can sign up for emails there. You just put your name in a box, hit sign up, and every morning when I type them up, they'll come right to your inbox and you'll get them. So, yeah, regionweather.com is the place to go for that. Tom says, with as cold as it's going to be, will there be toros and clovers in the atmosphere? Tom, I'm not sure. They'd be above radar level, so that's not something I track. Bring it on. That's awesome. Tom, how are the chickens? Are they doing okay in the cold? I'm kind of worried about your chickens. Anyway, okay. I think that's it. I think that's all we've got. Just Tom's chickens, and bring it on. You guys need anything else, let me know. Feel free to leave feedback if there's something you'd like to see on these broadcasts. If you want me to cover drought or more national weather, I'm happy to do that. Whatever you guys would like to see in that. Other than that, get your PJs on, kids, and you guys as well. All right. Get some tart cherry juice going and have a wonderful Sunday evening. And enjoy your day off. A lot of people off tomorrow. A lot of people also working tomorrow, but that's okay. I hope you guys, they don't mind the cold, Tom. Thanks for letting me know. I'm glad they don't. Those chickens, a lot of animals put up with, they put up with some weather. Anyway, I diverge. So in terms of the forecast, again, we've got cold air this week. It's going to get better every single day getting into the weekend. And hopefully the modeling is correct in saying that March 1st through the 3rd, we finally get some warmer air in here. It would be brief. It wouldn't last long, but 50s and 60s would be pretty nice right now. We'll see. So Michelle, thank you very much. I appreciate. I think you sent stars or something. Yeah, thank you for that. Dale, you have an amazing night too. All right, guys, get through the week. We'll get you through it as well, obviously with our forecast and anything else you guys need. Okay. All right. Thanks for taking time out of your day. We'll talk to you soon.